In the tumultuous landscape of geopolitical conflicts, one nation's struggle for change ignited a series of events that reverberated across borders, culminating in the rise of an enigmatic and formidable adversary. Welcome to The Unveiling of Anonymous Sudan, Cyber Warfare and Kenya's Response, a groundbreaking documentary that unravels the intricacies of a gripping cyber warfare campaign and its profound impact on two nations. Get ready to witness the birth of a digital revolution, one that will challenge the very fabric of power and reshape the geopolitical landscape forever. This is not just a story of hackers and cyber attacks. It's an immersive, heart-pounding exploration of human resilience, the quest for truth, and the unyielding pursuit of justice. Before we begin, let's first understand the emergence of the hacker group Anonymous Sudan, because, of course, it has not started its attacks with Kenya. Our story begins in December 2018, when Sudanese citizens took to the streets, driven by a collective discontent with their long-standing government under President Omar al-Bashir. Grievances of economic hardship, corruption, and political repression resonated in the hearts of the people, uniting them in a passionate demand for change. Their persistence and courage led to the removal of President al-Bashir, raising hopes for a new era of civilian governance in Sudan. However, as the nation's transition towards democracy began, the path to stability was fraught with challenges. Fast forward, 2 years later, in a shocking turn of events, a military coup shattered the dreams of peaceful civilian rule. Sudan's political landscape plunged into turmoil once again, reigniting intercommunal conflicts within the nation. Amidst this chaos, a new player emerged in the shadows of the cyber realm. The Anonymous Sudan. A group of hacktivists with unknown faces and intentions stepped onto the stage. Driven by their beliefs and convictions, they embarked on a digital campaign that would soon transcend borders, capturing the attention of nations far beyond Sudan's borders. As the cyber warfare campaign unfolded, the hacktivist group's targets expanded to Western countries, where they sought to raise awareness for perceived Islamic causes. But their quest for justice didn't end there. In recent years, hacktivist groups have gained notoriety for their use of hacking and cyber attacks to advance their political, social, or religious causes. Operating in the shadows of anonymity, these groups wielded the power of the internet to amplify their messages and disrupt digital infrastructures. Anonymous Sudan emerged as one such group, drawn to the Sudanese conflict, and soon their actions would transcend borders, capturing the attention of nations far beyond Sudan's borders. Join us as we journey through the complex tapestry of political struggles, digital battles, and the pursuit of justice in an ever-changing world. The Unveiling of Anonymous Sudan, Cyber Warfare and Kenya's Response, is a testament to the power of the digital frontier and the human spirit in the face of adversities. Let us continue our exploration into this captivating cyber war. You may wonder, did the creation of the group or the coup in Sudan have any connection with Kenya? Why did the hacktivist group point its muzzles towards the country? Now, in the midst of Sudan's ongoing conflict and escalating tensions, Kenyan President William Ruto stepped onto the international stage with a noble aim: to mediate and facilitate peace talks in Sudan. President Ruto, known for his diplomatic acumen and commitment to regional stability, saw an opportunity to use Kenya's influence and experience to broker a peaceful resolution between the Sudan Armed Forces, SAF, and the Rapid Support Forces, RSF. The conflict in Sudan was multifaceted, involving not just the military forces but also intricate political complexities that had simmered for years. President Ruto's efforts gained international attention and earned him admiration from those hopeful for an end to the bloodshed in Sudan. However, it was clear that the path to peace would not be without its challenges. Sudan's response to President Ruto's mediation offer was mixed, reflecting the underlying political dynamics at play. While some welcomed the involvement of a regional ally like Kenya, others questioned the neutrality of the mediator. Sudanese General Abdel Fattah al-Burhan, a key figure in the Sudan Armed Forces and the head of the Transitional Sovereign Council, which is the interim ruling body of Sudan, expressed skepticism and opposition to President Ruto's chairmanship of the mediation efforts. In June 2023, Abdel Fattah al-Burhan accused Kenya of lacking neutrality in the Sudanese conflict and of continuing to support the Rapid Support Forces, RSF. He claimed that Kenya had provided the RSF with financial and military support, had hosted RSF leaders in Nairobi. He also alleged that Kenyan President William Ruto had a business relationship with RSF leader Mohamed Hamdan Daglo. These accusations complicated the diplomatic landscape and put President Ruto's credibility as a mediator into question. On the other side of the border, Kenyan citizens expressed frustration at the accusations leveled against their nation. Many believed that Kenya's diplomatic efforts were genuine and aimed at fostering peace, not taking sides in Sudan's internal strife. Ruto denied the allegations, but he did admit to having met with Daglo on several occasions. Nevertheless, the damage was done. The IGAD quartet, which was tasked with mediating the Sudanese conflict, was suspended indefinitely. As political debates raged on, civilians in Sudan expressed mixed views about external mediation. Some saw it as an opportunity for a way out of the violence, while others were cautious, fearing undue foreign influence on their nation's future. The situation on the ground remained tense, with protests continuing in various parts of Sudan, and civilians demanding a say in the mediation process. Additionally, the involvement of regional blocs like the African Union and the Intergovernmental Authority on Development, IGAD, added further complexity to the mediation efforts. High-level meetings between Sudanese leaders and representatives from regional blocs attempted to navigate the intricate political web and find a common ground for negotiations. As the puzzle of political interests, regional dynamics, and civilian demands intertwined, the path to meaningful mediation in Sudan seemed more challenging than ever. But really, only that? Our journey continues as we explore why and how this delicate diplomatic dance would shape the future of the Sudanese conflict and the unfolding cyber warfare campaign with Kenya. Let us venture further into this gripping tale of nations at crossroads and the digital forces that would play a defining role. As President Ruto's mediation efforts continued, tensions between Kenya and Sudan escalated to a new level, drawing the attention of the international community. The delicate balance between diplomacy and cyber warfare was rapidly shifting. Sudanese Armed Forces General Yasser al-Adda, a prominent figure within the military ranks, emerged as a central figure in this escalating conflict. In an unprecedented move, General al-Adda publicly taunted President Ruto in a viral video, challenging him to confront Sudan's military forces directly. General Yasser al-Adda said, "President Ruto, your words may hold weight in Kenya, but do you dare to face us on the battlefield? Your mediation efforts are futile. We will not bow to external influence." The taunting video sent shockwaves through Kenya, with Kenyan officials expressing dismay at the hostile rhetoric. Such provocative actions only heightened the animosity between the two nations and cast doubts on the prospects of peaceful resolution. The escalating tensions between Kenya and Sudan didn't go unnoticed by the international community. Regional and global leaders called for de-escalation and peaceful dialogue, urging both nations to find common ground and work towards a resolution. In the midst of rising tensions and accusations, Anonymous Sudan saw the potential power of digital activism, a realm where anonymity and the internet could amplify their voices beyond the nation's borders. The cyber warfare campaign against Kenya began, exacerbating the situation and putting further strain on diplomatic efforts. This was noted by the Kenyan watchdogs, the National Computer and Cybercrimes Coordination Committee, NC4. In a letter from the NC4 to the Kenya Education Network Trust, titled, "Advisory on Distributed Denial of Service Attack Targeting Telecom Companies and MCDAS." It reads this, and I quote, "The National Computer and Cybercrimes Coordination Committee, NC4, continues to evaluate the national cyber threat landscape as part of its mandate, under Computer Misuse and Cybercrimes Act of 2018, with a view to establishing and mitigating cyber threats facing critical information infrastructures, CIIS, within the Kenya's cyberspace. NC4 has established that in the recent past, there has been increased, abnormal global internet traffic targeted at several CIIs in Kenya, aimed at disrupting essential services, particularly in telecommunications, banking and education sectors. These traffic constitute distributed denial of service, DDoS, attack. In this regard, it is recommended that KENET informs all research and education institutions in Kenya to implement necessary cybersecurity measures and to share with Director NC4 on any malicious traffic and incidents. End of quote. Anonymous Sudan's cyber warfare campaign against Kenya was a calculated and relentless assault that left a significant impact on the nation's digital infrastructure. In this segment, we explore the intricacies of the DDoS techniques deployed by the hacktivist group, as well as their methods to conceal their origins in the vast expanse of cyberspace. The backbone of Anonymous Sudan's cyber attacks on Kenya was the utilization of distributed denial of service, DDoS, techniques. These powerful tools allowed them to flood their targets with an overwhelming volume of traffic, rendering critical government services and financial institutions inaccessible to legitimate users. Now you may wonder, what are these DDoS attacks? How do they enable one to flood a target with overwhelming traffic? Alright, let's break this down in simple terms for everyone to understand. Imagine you have a favorite website, like a place where you can watch fun videos. Now, a DDoS attack will happen by sending too many fake visitors to that website all at once, in such a case that no one, legitimate or illegitimate, can watch the fun videos. Think of it like trying to fit too many people into a tiny room. When there are too many people, nobody can move, and the room gets jam-packed, right? That's exactly what happens to the website during a DDoS attack. But wait, there's more to it. The tricky part is that these attackers don't come alone. To achieve the large numbers of the illegitimate visitors and avoid detection, they use lots and lots of computers, like a big army of robots, to send all this extra traffic to the website. Imagine each computer is like a pretend visitor sending numerous connection requests. Do the hackers purchase all these computers to perform the attacks? No. Imagine you're a hacker, and you want to create a big army of pretend visitors, botnet, to use in a DDoS attack. Here's how you might do it. Step 1. Finding vulnerable computers. The first thing I need is a bunch of computers to be part of my botnet. I'll look for computers that have security weaknesses or vulnerabilities. These could be regular computers, laptops, or even smart devices like cameras or routers. Step 2. Infecting the computers. Now that I found vulnerable computers, I'll sneakily send a special program, called malware, to infect them. This malware will secretly take control of the computers without the owners knowing. Step 3. Assembling the botnet. Great. Now that the computers are infected with my malware, they become part of my botnet. I can command them to do things all together, just like an army following my orders. Step 4. Getting ready for the attack. My botnet is growing, and I have control over all these computers. I'll wait until I'm ready for the DDoS attack. Maybe when I want to cause trouble or make a point about something, I'll unleash the botnet. Now in the Sudan Anonymous Group's case, their DDoS attacks were characterized by a combination of UDP and SYN floods. UDP floods overwhelmed their targets with a massive amount of User Datagram Protocol, UDP, packets, while SYN floods exploited the connection handling mechanism of Transmission Control Protocol, TCP, to exhaust system resources. To break it down further, the attackers used two types of attacks called UDP flood and SYN flood. UDP flood. Imagine someone sending you hundreds of letters demanding no reply all at once, flooding your mailbox. The target's mailbox is overwhelmed with so many small pieces of information, packets, that it can't handle them all, causing it to slow down or crash. Sin flood. It's like having too many phone calls ringing in at the same time, but when you answer, nobody is there. The target's phone lines are flooded with fake connection requests, and the system spends so much time trying to handle them that it can't deal with real connection requests, making it unable to function properly. Both attacks aim to exhaust the target's resources, like its internet connection or processing power, so it becomes unreachable or stops working. By bouncing their attacks through numerous proxy servers, they created a complex chain of digital footprints, effectively camouflaging their origin points. This sophisticated layer of obfuscation made it exceedingly difficult for cybersecurity teams to trace the attacks back to their source. In addition to their technical prowess, the group leveraged encrypted messaging platforms to communicate and coordinate their actions, ensuring that their digital maneuvers remained concealed from prying eyes. As the conflict between Kenya and Anonymous Sudan escalated, the group demonstrated a willingness to go beyond conventional hacktivism. They employed extortion tactics, sending ransom demands to their victims, threatening to perpetuate their DDoS attacks. As Anonymous Sudan's cyber warfare campaign targeted Kenya, the nation's critical digital infrastructure found itself under relentless assault. In this segment, we undertake a comprehensive examination of the primary targets in Kenya and the far-reaching impact of the hacktivist group's attacks. Among the most heavily impacted targets was the eCitizen portal, a vital platform that offers more than 5,000 government services. Ranging from driving license renewals to visa processing and business registrations, the eCitizen portal serves as the gateway to essential administrative processes. Anonymous Sudan's sustained disruption of the eCitizen portal raised serious concerns about Kenya's cybersecurity preparedness and the protection of sensitive citizen data. The nation's citizens were left frustrated and inconvenienced by the unavailability of crucial services. The impact extended beyond government services. Anonymous Sudan also targeted financial institutions, with M-Pesa, Kenya's leading mobile money transfer service, coming under attack. As one of the most widely used financial platforms in Kenya, M-Pesa's disruption caused inconvenience to millions of users. Reports surfaced of failures in bank-to-M-Pesa wallet transfers, USSD transactions, and even online token purchases for electric power tokens from Kenya Power and Lighting Company. The hacktivist group's cyber attacks on Kenya's financial infrastructure raised questions about the security of digital financial systems and the potential financial losses incurred by individuals and businesses alike. Even the Kenya Power and Lighting Company, responsible for the nation's electricity supply, experienced disruptions, affecting the payment of tokens through M-Pesa. The scope and scale of these attacks showcased the vulnerability of Kenya's digital economy. The consequences highlighted the need for robust cybersecurity. As Anonymous Sudan's cyber warfare campaign targeted Kenya's critical digital infrastructure, the nation's digital economy bore the brunt of the relentless assaults. In this segment, we explore the far-reaching economic and financial consequences of the hacktivist group's attacks, the disruption of essential services, and the potential harm inflicted on individuals and businesses. The economic repercussions of Anonymous Sudan's cyber attacks on Kenya were profound. Disruptions to government services and financial institutions caused financial losses for businesses and individuals alike. As services like the eCitizen portal and M-Pesa faced prolonged outages, essential transactions were hampered, affecting the country's economic productivity. The disruption of financial services also impacted Kenya's reputation as a thriving digital economy. Such incidents could deter foreign investments and hinder the growth of Kenya's digital economy. The cyber attacks also had serious implications for individuals and businesses relying on these digital services. With the eCitizen portal unavailable, visa processing, business permits, and other administrative processes were delayed or inaccessible, affecting those who depended on these services for their livelihoods. The damage to Kenya's reputation on the global stage was yet another consequence of these cyber attacks. As a nation known for its digital innovations and advancements, being targeted by a hacktivist group exposed vulnerabilities that could be exploited by other threat actors in the future. The world watched as Kenya grappled with the fallout of these cyber attacks. The implications extended far beyond the digital realm, reverberating throughout the nation's economy and international standing. Now, let us examine the impact of Anonymous Sudan's cyber warfare campaign on Kenya's digital economy, a comprehensive look at the economic and financial consequences, the disruption of essential services, and the potential harm inflicted on individuals. The Unveiling of Anonymous Sudan, Cyber Warfare and Kenya's Response, sheds light on the vulnerabilities exposed in a nation's digital landscape. As Anonymous Sudan's cyber warfare campaign wreaked havoc on Kenya's digital infrastructure, the nation's government faced an unprecedented challenge. In this segment, we explore Kenya's response to the cyber attacks, the immediate measures taken to address the security breach, and the challenges encountered in countering the persistent cyber threat. The Kenyan government's immediate priority was to mitigate the ongoing cyber attacks and safeguard critical digital services. Recognizing the seriousness of the security breach, authorities swiftly sprang into action to defend the nation's digital infrastructure. As our journey through the world of cyber warfare and the conflict between Kenya and Anonymous Sudan comes to an end, we are reminded that the quest for cybersecurity resilience remains an ever-present call to action. While this chapter reaches its conclusion, let us stay vigilant and rise to the challenge, standing united in the face of emerging cyber threats. The promise of a secure and prosperous digital future lies firmly in our hands. We encourage you, our valued viewers, to actively participate in this critical endeavor. To stay informed and engaged, subscribe to our channel for more insightful content. We invite you to leave a comment, sharing your thoughts on the best strategies you believe Kenya could employ to effectively tackle such cyber attacks. That was the gripping journey through the Unveiling of Anonymous Sudan, Cyber Warfare and Kenya's Response. Thank you for joining us.